Huddle up, Steelers Nation. It's Tank for the Italian Village Steelers Chalk Talk Show. Hey, don't forget, Sunday mornings this fall, 22 The Point every Sunday morning at 10:30. Me and Mike McMahon, the former quarterback, will be joining you here in Latrobe, Pennsylvania, training camp. Mike, the former NFL quarterback, he's probably throwing balls through some tire swing somewhere right now. So the old tanker's going to give you, well, his perspective. And I know we're only into 3 days of camp, but two things have stood out to me significantly so far. Let's talk about your new center. Well, the polar bear from West Virginia, Zack Frazier. Let's start here. You know, he was a 3-time state champion in wrestling at West Virginia for his high school, the Polar Bears, and that's my nickname for Frazier moving forward, is Zack the Polar Bear Frazier. Have been watching the offensive line intently. Now look, they haven't been in pads yet, they haven't been hitting yet. However, those of you who understand this will understand this. The fundamentals of blocking, whether it's pass blocking or run blocking, never change. The fundamentals simply do not change, whether it's 1975 or 2024 as this Steelers team of yours begins their Super Bowl run. Zack Frazier is a technician. I've been watching him on simple drills like bags and sleds. He is picture perfect in every single step he takes, which is so important, and his hand position. Mostly, I like how he follows up at the end of every time he touches the bag, every time he touches the sled, he does not slack at the end of the drill. He finishes hard and strong. I think we've made a great selection with Zack Frazier. Only time will tell with the young man. I know I got to interview him earlier in the year. He is humble. His head is focused on day-to-day getting better and becoming a professional NFL lineman. So look for Zack's development throughout camp and look for him to be that starting anchor in the middle of that 5-man unit come opening day. All right, the second thing I've seen, and this is where, well, I'm going to get a lot of Facebook, and you don't know what you're talking about, Tank, and on YouTube, Tank, you don't know what you're talking about. Justin Fields, this is what I've seen, and I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Now, let's start with the positives that I've seen, and again, this is without pads, so you can take what I'm saying with a grain of salt, or you can chalk it up and go, all right, I'll listen to the old tanker and see what, comes about during the regular season. Yes, he is fleet of foot, no doubt about that. He's got great foot movement in the pocket. And yes, if he gets out of containment and takes off, he is going to be a dangerous running threat. That's the upside. This is what I've seen, and again, take it with a grain of salt. He cannot read a defense. He stays locked on his primary receiver from the time they come up to the line of scrimmage until he makes the throw. Now, look, any of you that know football know that you've got to read that defense with a scanning look. If you know where your primary number one receiver is going, you know the route. Let's say it's a slant to the end zone. You know where he's going to be at about 15 yards deep. Gives you time to look off to see what this safety's doing, what this linebacker's doing to read the defense. The other thing I don't think he does really well, the old spiral, as we say. It's a 50-50 ball with Fields at this point. Some of his balls are, they are money. They are dead spirals. That's 50% of the time. The other times, man, what is the, like a duck you just blew out of the air and it's wibbling and it's wobbling. Now, does any of what I've observed translate to a Super Bowl winning quarterback? I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong for many years. But these are just two of the significant things I've seen so far in camp, and it's only day 3. But Zack Frazier, solid pick, and is going to be your anchor on that Steelers offensive line for many, many years to come. Justin Fields, I don't like what I'm seeing so far. I just don't like what I'm seeing so far. Now, can Fields be coached up? Yes, he can. Can he become better at reading defenses? Yes, he can. Can he be better at be coached to look off his primary receiver this way? And yeah, he can be coached. He gets really nervous in the pocket and runs right away. Again, I think that's attributable to not being able to read an NFL defense. All right, so it's Tank from Stil'rs Training Camp 2024 in Latrobe, Pennsylvania. And if you've ever wondered how you pronounce it, is it Latrobe? Is it Latrobe? Well, it's both. But I can tell you this, as a native of Latrobe, Pennsylvania, I grew up here. I'm a Latrobe Wildcat graduate. Notice how I said Latrobe? It goes both ways. But when you come to visit the Stil'rs at training camp, the correct vernacular is Latrobe. All right, so Tank out from Latrobe, Pennsylvania.